Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'll be going over the top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s for May 2025. For the month of May in the 1960s, there are a good variety of cards that make the top 10 list this month, and there are a couple record high sales. For the 1960s, there are several record high sales in the top 10, plus there are a couple high grade 1960 Topps cards. And finally, for the 1970s, there are some more record high sales in the top 10 and a couple high grade 1973 Topps cards. Now, before I get to the three top 10 lists, I think it would be a good time to remind everyone where I get the data for my top 10 lists. Rather than search all the sold listings within eBay's main website, I use eBay's Terapeak website. Supposedly, that gives a better representation of actual transactions of sold items, meaning supposedly money has exchanged hands and it is a completed transaction. Now, I also cross-reference those sales reported on the Terapeak website with VCP's database. In most cases, VCP has that eBay sale in their database, but sometimes the sale is not within VCP's database. And so if you see an asterisk on one of the sales, it means that for whatever reason, VCP did not have that eBay sale in their database, which could impact a record high or a current average price for that particular card. But since I'm basing everything off of eBay's Terapeak website, that trumps everything, and I go off of what eBay is reporting because this is a top 10 list of eBay sales. So with that, let's get to the three top 10 lists. All right, let's start off with the top 10 from the 1950s. At number 10, we have this 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente in a PSA 7. This one sold on May 20th for $18,000. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 7 is $16,002. The record high sale was $28,082 back in May of 2023 through Memory Lane. Now, there were two other significant 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente cards sold in May. The first one, a PSA 8 off-center, sold on May 25th for $13,580, and then another PSA 8 off-center sold on May 12th for $11,000. At number 9, we have this 1959 Topps Roberto Clemente in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 12th for $20,790. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $17,543. The record high sale, though, was $56,400 back in January of 2023 through Heritage. Now, there have been 56 copies graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 8, we have this 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle in a PSA 6.5. This one sold on May 20th for $21,900. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 6.5 is $15,192. This sale here at $21,900 represents a new record high sale for a PSA 6.5 copy. The previous high was $16,500 back in December of 2021 through PWCC. There was one other significant 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle sale in May. This one, a PSA 5.5 copy, sold on May 31st for $9,000. At number 7, we have this 1952 Topps Jackie Robinson in a PSA 6. This one sold on May 20th for $23,499. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 6 is $17,900. The record high sale was $40,300 back in March of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There was one other significant 1952 Topps Jackie Robinson sale in May. This one, a PSA 3 copy, sold on May 29th for $8,250. At number 6, we have this 1951 Bowman Willie Mays in a PSA 6.5. This one sold on May 11th for $23,625. It was an auction. There were 80 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 6.5 is $26,213. The record high sale was $35,010 back in November of 2021 through Mile High. Now, there were two other significant 1951 Bowman Willie Mays sales in May. First one, a PSA 5 copy, sold on May 21st for $17,996, and then a PSA 4 copy, sold on May 21st for $15,000. At number 5, we have this 1950 Bowman Jackie Robinson in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 27th for $27,500. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is $23,950. The record high sale was $37,200 back in February of 2022 through Heritage. Now, there was one other 1950 Bowman Jackie Robinson sale in May of note. This one, a PSA 7 copy, sold on May 30th for $20,000. At number 4, we have this 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a PSA 5. This one sold on May 1st for $28,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 5 is $25,653. The record high sale was $55,100 back in March of 2021 through eBay. There were two other significant 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle sales in May. The first one, another PSA 5 copy, sold on May 28th for $21,500, and then a PSA 4 copy, sold on May 31st for $18,000. At number 3, we have this 1955 Topps Sandy Koufax in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 28th for $34,900. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is $25,014, but the record high sale was $42,000 back in January of 2022 through Heritage. At number 2, we have this 1954 Johnston Cookies Hank Aaron in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 23rd for $34,995. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $30,698. The sale here at $34,995 represents a new record high sale for a PSA 9 copy. The previous high was $29,400 back in April of 2023 through REA. There have been 14 copies graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. And at number 1 for the month of May, we have this 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle in an authentic altered condition. This one sold on May 25th for $37,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for an authentic altered copy is $35,009. The record high sale was $81,600 back in May of 2023 through Golden. Now, there was one other 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle sale in May. This one, a PSA 1 copy, sold on May 14th for $31,950. All right, getting into the top 10 from the 1960s. At number 10, we have this 1969 Topps Reggie Jackson in a PSA 9 off center. This one sold on May 9th for $6,000. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 qualifier is $1,663. So this sale here at $6,000 blows away the previous sales and is a new record high for a PSA 9 qualifying sale. The previous high was $1,800 back in June of 2024 through eBay. At number 9, we have this 1960 Topps Carroll Hardy in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 4th for $6,665. It was an auction. There were 33 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is this sale here at $6,665 and represents a new record high sale for a PSA 9 copy. The previous high was only $282 all the way back in June of 2015 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have only been 6 graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 8, we have this 1965 Topps Roberto Clemente in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 8th for $8,295. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $11,029. The record high sale was $18,600 back in January of 2023 through Heritage. There have been 64 copies graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 7, we have this 1965 Topps Sandy Koufax in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 17th for $9,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $7,879. The record high sale was $12,600 back in July of 2021 through Heritage. There had been 69 copies graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 6, we have this 1968 Topps Nolan Ryan in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 16th for $9,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is $8,561. The record high sale was $13,348 back in January of 2025 through Memory Lane. At number 5, we have this 1964 Topps Pete Rose in a PSA 8.5. This one sold on May 13th for $10,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8.5 is $7,155. So this sale here at $10,000 represents a new record high sale. The previous high was $7,155 back in August of 2024 through eBay. At number 4, we have this 1968 Topps Bob Gibson in a PSA 10. This one sold on May 22nd for $11,100. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $4,981. So this sale here at $11,100 represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was $9,650 back in February of 2022 through PWCC. Now, there have been 180 copies graded a PSA 9. This copy here is one of only 22 that have been graded a PSA 10. At number 3, we have this 1960 Topps Jim Baxis in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 4th for $12,165. It was an auction. There were 47 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $12,165 this sale here, and it represents a new record high sale for a PSA 9 copy. The previous high was only $445 back in December of 2008 on eBay and was this same exact card. In a PSA 9, there have only been 3 graded at that level. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 2, we have this 1962 Topps Mickey Mantle All-Star card in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 25th for $13,860. It was an auction. There were 52 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $14,003. The record high sale was $26,316 back in October of 2021 through memory lane. Now, there have only been 11 copies graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. And at number 1 for the 1960s, the 1963 Topps Pete Rose rookie card in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 18th for $21,000. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is $10,666. The record high sale was $27,500 back in March of 2021 through PWCC. Now, there were 4 other significant 1963 Topps Pete Rose sales in May. In fact, there were a ton of 63 Pete Rose rookie card sales in May, most likely because of the reinstatement of Pete Rose, allowing potentially him to be elected to the Hall of Fame. But these other 4 here are all, 3 of them are PSA 8 copies. The first one sold on May 25th for $14,426. Another one sold on May 16th for $12,399. And the third one sold on May 10th for $10,600. And then we had a PSA 7 copy sold on May 13th for $5,550. All right, on to the top 10 from the 1970s. At number 10, we have this 1971 Topps Nolan Ryan in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 20th for $2,136. It was an auction. There were 22 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is $2,144. The record high sale was $3,433 back in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 597 copies graded a PSA 8. 31 have been graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. At number 9, we have this 1979 Topps Ozzie Smith in a PSA 9. Really tough grade. This one sold on May 7th for $2,163. It was an auction. There were 7 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $2,333. The record high sale was $15,600 back in August of 2022 through PWCC. There have been 427 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 5 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 8, we have this 1973 Topps World Series Game 1 Tennis the Menace in a PSA 10. This one sold on May 11th for $2,294. It was an auction. There were 39 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is this sale here at $2,294 and represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was just $600 back in November of 2016 through eBay. Now, while there have been 60 graded a PSA 9, only 3 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 7, we have this 1973 Topps Pinups Carl Yastrzemski. This one sold on May 29th for $2,500. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 7 is $3,677. The record high sale was $3,750 back in February of 2017 through eBay. Now this copy here in the PSA 7 is one of only 3 copies, and none have been graded higher. At number 6, we have this 1976 Topps Nolan Ryan in a PSA 9. This one sold on May 19th for $2,500. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 9 is $1,283. The record high sale was $3,050 back in April of 2022 through eBay. There have been 282 copies graded a PSA 9. Just 11 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 5, we have this 1971 Topps Thurman Munson in a PSA 7.5. This one sold on May 19th for $2,700. It was a best offer. The current VCP average price for a PSA 7.5 is $2,020. The sale here at $2,700 represents a new record high sale for a PSA 7.5 copy. Previous high was $2,600 back in June of 2022 through eBay. Now there was one other 1971 Topps Thurman Munson sale of note in May. This one, a PSA 7.5 copy, sold on May 18th for $2,250. At number 4, we have this 1977 Topps Mark Fidrich in a PSA 10. This one sold on May 15th for $3,200. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,200, but the record high sale was $5,000 back in May of 2022 through eBay. There have been 138 copies graded a PSA 9. This copy here in a PSA 10 is one of only 16 graded at that level. At number 3, we have this 1973 Topps A's Manager Team Card in a PSA 10. This one sold on May 25th for $4,477. It was an auction. There were 29 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10, this sale here at $4,477 and represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was only $504 back in July of 2021 through Heritage. There have only been 6 graded a PSA 9. This copy here is one of only 3 that have been graded a PSA 10. At number 2, we have this 1974 Topps Deco Edge Johnny Bench whiteback version in a PSA 8. This one sold on May 4th for $4,600. It was an auction. There were 57 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 8 is this sale here at $4,600, represents a new record high sale for a PSA 8 copy. There have been no previous reported sales of any PSA 8 copies because this is the only copy to have received that grade. There have been 3 graded a PSA 9. None have been graded a PSA 10. And at number 1 for the 1970s for May, we have this 1977 Topps George Brett in a PSA 10. This one sold on May 24th for $6,296. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $6,645. The record high sale was $9,300 back in May of 2022 through Heritage. There have been 373 copies graded a PSA 9, only 43 have been graded a PSA 10. Well, there you go, the top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s for May 2025. As always, would love to know in the comments what you think about the cards that made the 3 top 10 lists. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.